Wow, that sounds like a miserable person right there. Prefer a sex doll over a real human. There is rain, and I hope this rain doesn't spoil it for me because it's drowning my voice. Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'd just like to thank you for tuning in, and I'm gonna try and respond to a kind of interesting topic. I haven't really gone through it as much, but I thought it was a very interesting thing to sort of ask. I think it's an interesting topic that people are talking about out there. Okay, so here goes. Do men like women? I have no idea, but you know what? You could like the video, and you could hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you want to get more notifications on other videos that I'll be posting in future. That's the best way to support the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button right now before you forget. So let's make the algorithm happy. Do men like women? Let's go and find out. All right, so what does this post say? I'm just going to click and go to the post right now. Have you noticed that a lot of young men don't really like women? They tolerate them because of sex, but don't like them as a person. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna give you my thoughts about that. It's a very generalized view. It's very difficult to really say, do all men like women? Have you noticed that? Wait, he didn't say all men. That did you notice that a lot of young men don't really like women? I don't know. It's really difficult to really kind of authenticate or to agree with a viewpoint which doesn't really have anything to sort of back it up. Like, what do you base what you're saying on? Is there statistical data that you are drawing this observation from? Because it sounds like it's an observation of his own. It's very subjective at this point in time, unless if there is some kind of statistic that was conducted. 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4 men, for instance, were found to not really like women but tolerate them for sexual benefits. It's interesting why he says that. With regards to film, on the other hand, what advice would I give to filmmakers? How would you as a filmmaker come up with ideas or come up with concepts, or how do you draw experiences from all these types of responses or social dilemmas or social media chaos, if you may? This is also come into play when you think about film concepts and what you try to do, how you trying to write rom-com or whatever, romantic film and things like that. When you think of the subject of romance and how females perceive romance or how males perceive romance and things like that, when you research things like this or subject matters like this, social media has become like a swimming pool where you can just find all of these floating everywhere. It's like a wave of information that gives you a very good idea of people's perceptions and what people's views on certain things are. Not just personal experiences, but also other people's experiences. I can draw from a lot of things in order to create a perfect setup and perfect scenario, because your characters are actual real people, and they say life is stranger than fiction. So that's where I think things like this are pretty useful in filmmaking and storytelling and things like that. A little disturbing, but I think nonetheless there's something that we can always learn from something, and hopefully you can write a story that people can watch and look at and have a good, reflect on themselves and see a part of themselves in maybe the characters and the story and whatever the case may be, and look at it from different aspects and dimensions, because that's really what it is about. How do we have one subject but so many people have different feelings about it? Hey, you tell me. That's where the storyteller comes in. That's where the magic pen has to do its work. Before I go on, I actually really want to read other comments and other people and what they think about it actually. Yeah, hopefully you've noticed how awful and cruel women can be these days. Example are all in this group already. Okay, shots fired. Boom. All right, example are all women in this group. Okay, it seems like he's not the only one who kind of thinks so. Women can be cruel, and it's interesting. Look, I know some girls can be cruel, some girls can be a little bit nasty out there, but I don't know if I'll say like women in general. The moment you start generalizing something, it becomes a bit of a problem, because then that means even the women who don't necessarily fit that stereotype, if not stereotype, before we typecast that idea. Let's just back up a little bit. Not everybody would typically treat every situation or react to a situation the same way as the other person. Though people have similar traits, I don't think it's fair to just sort of, slap that label onto every other person on the basis of their gender. That's a female or whatever. But any kind of generalization, I'm just not down with that, So let me see what other people say. Yes, especially in this group. Oh, it's a female, she says, especially in this group, the insults. It's really interesting, what people say out there and what they think about each other. Men don't like women, women don't like men. It seems to be the new normal of today. Oh, the original poster says, yeah, I don't subscribe to what you call normal. She responds by saying, it's also not normal to me too, but it seems a lot of people have normalized it. The loudest people always give the impression that what they're loud about, or what they make noise about, is normal or is practiced by more people than it actually isn't really the case. But people would tend to kind of perceive that that's the general worldview. Certain individuals might normalize it by way of projecting that, probably online, social media, and things like that. People tend to normalize certain things, just like this view could be normalized right now. But we have to kind of bring a balanced view to it as to where is this being drawn from. This is one's objective view or subjective view. All right, somebody says, men are dating for sex and women for money. There is no love. Somebody responded and says, said truth. Okay, it's really interesting how a lot of people tend to agree with a lot of things. What you need to do is address problems with your own gender first. Thousands of men are losing their lives at the hands of other men, and you are here sticking your nose in women's issues like you've been drinking panty water since birth. Stop it. Wow. You get no points for avoiding men and going after women. That's interesting. And they go on back and forth. Generally in person, women and men don't like each other much, but they love what the other person can offer. Okay, what do I say to that? It says generally, so it's a generalization in a way. Maybe in most cases, that might be the case, but there are men and women who actually like each other. I think it's important to remember women are also people. They're first human before they are gender, in my honest view. I think it will be an error to kind of assume that you first see a woman by her gender first and not as a woman. I think if that's the case, then we've got a serious problem, and maybe that's why we've got some problems in our society. It's difficult, of course. The first thing you see when you see a woman, of course, is the fact that it's a woman. But she's not valid as a woman. She's not validated by her gender. She's validated by her humanity. And I think that's important that's kind of the point I'm trying to drive here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who I like because they are decent human beings who happen to be females. And there are some females I don't like because of their character. Their character just sucks. They're either just lazy or they're rude. I don't know, they think they're better or they're stuck up or whatever the case may be. So it depends on how you handle yourself as a person. I've seen a lot of men and women who are best friends or who are friends, and they're not trying to get anything out of each other. And I have some female friends and people who I consider friends who are female. I'm not trying to get anything out of them. I can't say I dislike them because I can't get anything out of them. I think it's a generalization, as I said. It says in general. So I think that might ring true to some people. There's a lesson to learn in a lot of things, But otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. Do leave a comment. Do subscribe if you like the content, and hit that notification bell so that you can know when I drop another video. But other than that, thanks for watching. Watch all the way up to this far. Okay, thanks, and God bless.